Welcome back to the Coastly Distinct Podcast. It's your boy DJ KO. I'm glad you guys tuned back into the show. Guys, look, this is a great time of year. The sun is coming now. It's time to drop the top. It's time to start getting in the gym. It's time to start showing some skin because the weather looks like it's going to be beautiful this year. That's just a memo. Make sure you guys join a gym membership. I'm not going to tell you exactly which one. Join the gym so we can have a nice time in the city. Last year was a great time, and I can see it's going to be a great time again this year. Much love to my sponsor, 605 Adult Beverages, also Red Core Universe. Thank you guys for sponsoring the show. Shout out to my girl, Carl Audia, and also my man, Stefan, who's an attorney down in Baton Rouge. If you have any personal injury, anytime something happens, workers' comp, something on your job, make sure you hit those guys up. Guys, you know I have some bangers that come on the show. You know I have some faces that you guys see in the city. And sometimes you might pass by these individuals. You don't know who they are. You might see them, but they actually are somebody, right?
Yes.
Right? So I got someone special that come on the show today, you know. Kendrick said he had a verse. Well, not a verse. He had a line in the verse. He said sometimes you got to pop out and show, you know, individuals, right?
That's what he said.
So today the pop princess popped up on me today.
I like how you did that.
You feel me?
That was nice.
That was clever, right?
Yeah, that was very
clever. That was clever. So the pop princess Zandy showed up on me today. How you doing, Miss Zandy?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I gotta give you a hand clap. Everybody is Zandy.
Woo!
There you go. Zandy, what's good?
Everything. Life is good.
Life is awesome.
Life is awesome. Like, you was just talking about the weather. The weather today was so nice.
Yes.
We in that mode now. The city we gearing up for it to be summertime.
We need to go back to the cold weather so people will stop coming here. But that didn't stop nobody because
that didn't stop nobody. They love it here.
I know, right?
They love it here.
Speaking of that, how long have you been here?
I have been here my whole life.
I
don't even know why I had to think about that. I'm born and raised, born in Houston, Texas, raised in Pearland. Sorry, my eye is watering.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, born and raised in Pearland, Texas.
Pearland,
yes.
Houston, H-Town, shout out.
Shout out to Pearland.
Yeah, shout out to, I gotta shout it out. Shout out to
Shout
Pearland.
out to all the pears.
Yeah, so, you know what's funny, when I first moved to Texas, I didn't know what Pearland, Sugarland,
really?
Woodland,
Where are you from?
New Orleans.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
You see
It all makes sense
you see
now.
The Saints?
It's making sense. Okay.
You see the Saints? You know what I'm saying? How can she go? I got black and gold on for a reason. I'm a Saint.
Y'all
you know
the only ones that rep the Saints.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I should have
known when I seen that Saints hat.
I thought this was gonna be a great interview.
It is. Listen, my mom's family, they're all from Louisiana. My grandmother's from Alexandria.
Okay.
And all her sisters are from New Orleans. Like, I have deep roots in Louisiana, but I'm from Houston though, and
Shout out.
Saints fans, y'all know how y'all get. But anyway,
absolutely. So I want to get into the story of getting to know who Xandi is, how she started. So you're originally from Pearland.
Yes.
And you're an artist.
Yes.
Right. How did your career even start off in the arts?
Yeah. So I was genuinely one of those kids that, you know, did theater arts, musicals, plays since I was a child. So I've always been a singer. I've been singing since I was about 4 years old. And around like maybe 16-ish, I started getting involved in like musical theater deeply. And so I got accepted to Howard University. Shout out to
Howard.
HU,
hey,
you know.
All right.
So I went to Howard University. I graduated from Howard University, but I went there for musical theater, and then I ended up changing my degree to television and film. It was like a whole thing. But anyway, I've been doing this my whole life. I've been recording music. I've been a recording artist since I was 15, and I'm 26 now. So it's been a good 11 years.
Oh, yeah.
And I started off R&B. Love R&B. I like completed a lot of milestones with R&B. But like as I'm just, you know, growing up and getting older, I can't believe I'm in my now late 20s. Like, that's really wild to me. But I was like, I need to do something that I've always wanted to do, which is pop and rock.
Yeah.
Because growing up in somewhere like Pearland, where honestly now Pearland is a melting pot, but when I was a child, it was more of white people there. But you get exposed to other things that people listen to.
Right.
And so I grew up listening to like a lot of pop. I loved pop. And so I was like, I gotta go ahead and do this because like this is just on my heart to do. So yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I want to get into that the pop deal, but I want to ask you this. Now, what you know about U Street?
Oh my gosh! How you know about U Street?
I used to live in DC.
Oh, you used to live in DC?
Yeah.
Okay, so my story with U Street is I never went on it. When I was
Never?
never
How
because
you went to Howard and go to U Street?
I know, man. Like when I was at Howard, when I was a musical theater major, if you look up anything about the theater department, it's strict. Like I mean, you would think we were athletes like on the football team. It was almost a career. So I never had anything I couldn't do anything on the weekends. And then I didn't have a fake ID and everybody was getting fakes. And I was like, well, I'll be 21 soon. And so I just could never, I never
Really?
had a night on U Street. But now that I'm alum and I go back often, I'm well overdue for a time on U
So
Street.
you do, that's right. So you do go back for homecoming and
Oh,
things of
yeah.
that
I
nature.
went back for the 100th anniversary, which was last year.
I was
I ain't
there.
going back. Oh, you was there?
I was there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was there.
It's rare that I meet people that are like either from DC or have lived there or even been there, honestly. Yeah, so no, I haven't had a night on U Street, but I'm overdue. I'm ready for one.
Actually, I was there when the Commanders played Philly
Really?
this year in the what is that? The NFC Championship.
Uh-huh.
I go with DC all the time. I used to work in DC for the government.
Oh, I was about to say, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I was always in DC. I'm still in DC. I love DC.
I love DC. Well, I love Howard. I would
Love,
never
hate.
live
Love, hate.
in DC. Like,
Why not? DC
I have
is,
lots. Okay, first of all, I'm from the South. We all got cars. Down there, you kind of have to walk or take like
The
public
train.
transportation
Yeah.
everywhere. Which I had a job out there. I was a music teacher, and so I would leave school and then I would have to. That's my like all my life I had to fight story. Like I had to walk to work because it was so expensive to take an Uber. It didn't make any sense, and so. Yeah, it's that if you do have a car, you're gonna get a lot of tickets because
Right.
and they're like $20 to $30, but that's because you get so many.
Right.
And then like I feel like it's a food desert there. Every grocery store I would go to, the produce was terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
Produce, see?
Yeah, the food is really not up to par.
It is not up to par. Restaurants, I mean, nothing. It's not like Houston. I saw something that said like Houston is the fattest city in the world because we have more restaurants
Yes.
per square footage
Yes.
than like New York. Yeah. So when you come from somewhere like that and then you go to DC,
Yeah, a place like Houston is rare because, like you said, the food,
yeah.
right? Then you have a lot of implants that come in from L.A., Chicago,
Right.
Miami,
Louisiana.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Of course, Louisiana. That's like
Right. We cousins.
that's like
yeah.
Houston Part 2, right?
Right.
But you have, especially Detroit and Chicago, the Midwest, they have like a big population here.
Really?
Yes,
I didn't
real
know that.
big population. Yeah, they actually have a community where Detroit, they have something every month here. It's like 400, 500 people.
Wow.
It's real big here
Every month?
every month. Yeah,
Wow.
it's big. But Houston is one of those places. Like you said, we eat, we share times together. We go out
We
7
have
days
a
a
good
week.
time.
We go out
We go
every
out.
night.
I was explaining to him earlier that like my parents, they own two clubs in the spot that's been open. The original's been open 20 years, and yeah, like Monday through Sunday they're
Yes.
open, and people are. I remember when my dad found a way to open during I think it was Hurricane Harvey. I don't know how.
Harvey, yeah.
People was almost trying to get in boats to get there. Like one thing we're gonna do is have a good time.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
we're gonna eat good.
Yeah.
So
We saw that
going to
during the
DC
pandemic.
is like, yeah.
So let me, because we can talk about that all day.
Uh-huh.
so now as a young black woman, of course, you know our genre that we listen to is either R&B, rap,
Yeah.
right? Maybe some pop, but it's like a Beyonce pop or
Right.
Rihanna pop, right?
Absolutely.
What made you venture off into that lane of pop? You said pop and rock.
Pop and rock.
Yeah.
Yes. So my first track on my album is very heavily rock influenced, but I grew up around. See, when I say Pearland is a more populated with white people, there were still black people there.
Yeah.
So there were black girls that loved what I loved. They loved to hear, back then it was Pink. I used to love Katy Perry, Miley Cyrus. I always say my first concert was Hannah Montana. And there were a lot of girls that were brown that loved what I loved, and it wasn't weird. And then when I got to Howard, everybody loved what I loved.
Right.
Because we kind of all came from the same demographic.
Right.
No matter if it was like, if you from New York or Chicago or LA, we kind of all were just those black, young black people that were like just alternative, you know? So I was like, okay, there is a space for this. And then, like I said, like I started hearing beats, and I was like, I'm actually really good at pop and rock. And if you think about like the pop charts, and you look at, I also did some research and bought a book that told you all of the Billboard hits from like the 80s to now. They're all pop songs. Like the #1 records, they're almost all pop.
Yeah, like Michael Jackson, Prince.
Right.
Yeah, #1.
Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I love to cater to my culture, and I've done that. And I still do that through pop and rock, because we are also the originators of a lot of genres of music. Of all.
You know that out of, I believe it was blues. Blues was the genre that every genre came out of.
I didn't know that.
It was blues, then it was gospel, and then from gospel it went everything.
And I could believe that wholeheartedly, because like we are the blueprint. So I'm like, I looked at the last Grammys we had, not one black pop artist, and I was like, nah, like I'm about to take this by storm. I love singing pop now because
You're right. They don't have a pop artist black
they
right now.
don't.
Because
It was
Rihanna
like,
is married and pregnant.
yeah, and she was pop.
She was pop.
She was
100%
absolutely pop. She was not R&B. She had R&B hits.
Beyonce goes in and out.
She's pop, but I think the queen, today's queen of pop, is like Lady Gaga.
Yeah, Lady Gaga. She's a pop.
Oh my gosh, everything about her is pop. But yeah, like we have our Beyonce. She's killing it. She's dibbing and dabbling in different genres. We had our Rihanna, but we don't have a black, and we certainly don't have a brown, closer to dark skin.
Yeah, that's
pop
true.
Person.
So I was gonna get into that. I was gonna ask you about that. The colorism in the music.
Yeah.
Because most mainstream artists are what they call fair skin.
Right.
Right. How as a beautiful black woman with a shade of hue that's a little darker than the rest.
Yeah.
How does that, I guess, interpret or articulate in the game that you're venturing into?
Well, like we have to play the cards that we're dealt.
Okay.
I was somebody that started off, I'm talking about now my mom and dad poured into me in a tremendous way to where I always knew I was beautiful. But going to school with so many white people, there was a moment, a tiny moment, where I didn't like my skin, I didn't like my hair, and I didn't like my height. I'm a 4'11", brown skin girl with curves. So growing up, that was a little hard, but then I snapped out of it. I'm like, I can't change my skin color.
Yeah.
I can never change my height. I have looked into height surgery.
Really?
Okay? And they got to break your legs and basically, and I'm like, this ain't nothing but the devil, me even looking this up. Like, why would I break my legs to be taller? So, I got over those type of insecurities quickly, and I focused on the things that I can change.
Right.
Because focusing on things that you can change will drive you crazy. So when it comes to colorism, I see it like this. My skin color contributes to my creativity, my power, my talent. And like I said, there's nobody in the pop genre that looks like me. There's nobody in the rock genre that looks like me. Now, Willow Smith has done her thing in rock. She's awesome. She does jazz. I love Willow Smith. But somebody my color, it's not many of us. We're there, but we're not popularized. We're not put on a platform. So I'm a very firm believer in Jesus Christ and as my Lord and Savior, and with anything with him is possible. So I'm like, I'm finna take this, but I'm finna go for it. It's so many brown women in R&B. It's so many black women in R&B. What makes us different? So
I'm gonna tell you. And it's funny you said that. I was having this conversation with some friends the other day. I said the most impactful and influential people of course, are blacks. They was listening to an artist, and this artist, I'm not going to use his name.
Okay. It was a guy. Okay.
It was a guy. And they was showing like the NBA players listening to the music pregame.
Okay.
And it's like everybody was in a trance. Like literally a trance. They was singing a word for word in a trance. And it wasn't just them. It was the little white kids on the sideline.
And this was a black artist they were singing.
A black
to.
artist.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you who it is after, you know.
I think I know who it is, but we'll.
He's like, I'm like, how do they, like, it's like in a trance. But I was looking at that. I was like, damn. I said, that show to tell you that we have the most influence. I don't care what culture. Because the thing is, we're only 13% of the population. And if these people get millions of records, selling millions of records, we're not the only one buying them.
It's worldwide.
It's worldwide.
Beyonce can go to any continent.
Yes.
Probably except Antarctica and sell out.
And probably there.
And probably even there. The snowmen and everybody else going to be there.
And dark-skinned women, also now, darker-skinned women are like the ones that everybody wants. Right, as our community, we already knew what it was, but now other communities are venturing up. It's like we want that.
Yeah,
this is what we want. Like I don't know if it's a token or like I want that thing, but a lot of people are noticing that now, and they're saying that okay, well, I might venture off into that. I might like that, maybe for the wrong reasons. I gotta call Dr. Umar for that, but
that's a Dr. Umar. But I will say that, you know, like we truly are the blueprint.
Yeah.
People tanning. Why do you want tanning? You want darker skin. Bigger butts. Why do you want a bigger butt or bigger breast? Because that is what women in even ancient Africa modeled. Like they were the prototype of that, you know? Why do you want big lips? I mean, it all. And it's okay. I feel like imitation is like the highest form of flattery.
Yeah.
But also, I want to say to black women that look like me or light skin, it does not matter, mix, that want to dive into something else, do it. Because it's our right.
Yes, absolutely.
We paved that way for the music to even be a thing. So do it, you know?
So take me through the process of you creating a pop record, a rock record. Do you have to get in a uniform? Do you have to like color your hair a certain color? Do you have to paint your nails black?
No.
Like how do you
I told myself, I was like, I'm not gonna cosplay what I see other people do with rock, because I'm not gonna be like the band Kiss. I'm not finna like all that. I actually don't prefer heavy metal rock. It's like it makes my head hurt a little. It's like really, I've tried, but
so what's the difference? You got heavy.
You got heavy, and then you got like regular rock that's metal. So heavy metal is like like yelling.
Like AC/DC.
Yeah, like
you're more of a Bon Jovi.
Yeah, or like maybe even Nirvana or something. I even mentioned Willow Smith. She's dived into rock. Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
They have alternative rock. They have alternative everything. Alternative R&B, alternative pop. It's like that, the genre with a twist. So no, I don't do any of that. When it comes to my music process, it's the same for every genre. I find the beat, I pick the beat, I write really fast. That's one of my talents. I've even written for artists. And I write really fast. I write in the comfort of my own home or in my car. I write in my car a lot.
Okay.
I've spent hours in my car writing, and then I go lay it down. When I go to the studio, it's work for me. Like, I've never, from a child, since I started recording at 13, but I started releasing music at 15. And I would see people go in there, you know, like it's a party, and time is money. Like,
so you strictly business.
Yes, when it comes to the studio, yes. I don't be liking people with me. I don't like people I don't know in the studio. But anyway, I go in there and I just get it done. It's the same process for me creatively.
But how do you create? Like, because some people that came up here that was artists, they said they create because they have experience, of course. But they have to be in a certain mood, or the scene has to be created in order for them to create in terms of writing.
Red flag. Don't do that.
Really? Okay.
Because when you start like that, the way creativity works, sometimes we get in roadblocks, and you're always going to feel like you need more. More women in the room, more men in the room, more alcohol, more drugs, more time. And that's just going to eat away at your pockets. And at the end of the day, not every song you make is a hit. So it's like you going in there and you're you're just kind of wasting time. And then I don't like a lot of people in there because at the end of the day, unless you're a music professional, like I really don't need your opinion in the room. Like in the room. Now when the record is made, cool. But but yeah, I feel like God has given us our talent. So all we need is that connection with God and our talent. You go in there, get the work done, leave. Like once you start creating circumstances around how good you can be, then like you're just always gonna need that.
Are you a minister?
I'm not, but I believe God has he's shifting me in a way that it may be.
No, because I say that because I know you're a young woman, and the way that you articulating, but you articulate it with passion, and then you're very serious. To be young like that, so that gave me minister. Deaconess.
You know what? And you're the first. That's crazy, because like I am a godly woman, and I spend a lot of time with God, and God has been putting in my. But I've always been a good communicator as well, which is also a gift from God. And He's been putting that in my heart silently, and I have never told anybody that because I don't feel qualified to be a minister with just the things I've done and my age, and I don't have any. It's a lot of things that I don't feel qualified. But the fact that you said that, I'm like, oh, okay, let me start opening my heart up to that, because I definitely have seen God put little whispers in there, like, I want you to minister.
If it's something, well, I say this because my whole family on my mom's side, they something in the church.
In the church.
My grandfather was a bishop.
Okay,
and,
nice.
Yeah, it trickled down. I got tired of church. I have to go to church all my life.
Yeah.
But when something is in your heart and it's clear as how you're speaking it, it's a passion, right?
Yeah.
And you have no choice. It's kind of what you said about the music. You have no choice but to exemplify it through your voice, through your words, through your music.
Absolutely.
Through your interaction through people.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'll lock in. Me personally, I will lock into that.
Okay, I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah.
I really am, because I'm doing this thing on the Bible app. It's you're supposed to read the Bible in 365 days.
Okay.
And I'm on day 99 now, but I be updating my boyfriend on the stories, and I love talking about it.
Yeah.
And I talk about it with passion. I remember everything. I'm like, and in it, the Bible is tea, okay? If you want some drama,
Yeah, it is.
like, Lord knows I'm coming from a good place with this, but it's very interesting. It's a great story.
Yeah, it's
a true story, but a great story.
Yeah, it's a lot of stories in it that you can articulate it and put it in today's life, and it fits perfect.
And it fits like a puzzle piece.
Yeah.
Like it's perfect. So yeah, but I love the Lord. Shout out to God.
Wonderful, awesome. So take me through your new single. Pop Life. Is it Pop Life?
So the album is named Pop It.
Pop It.
And I named it Pop It because I was like, if I'm gonna do pop music, I'm gonna just be obnoxious with it. I'm gonna just everything's pop, 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 pop. So a couple singles on the album is How Would I Know? It's the first track. It starts off with a rap and then it goes straight into rock. Like, okay. I love that song. Then right after it is Pop It. That's my other single. It samples the Don't Stop, Pop That, and I love that. It like enhances the track. That one's really awesome. And then after that, I just take you through a journey of just like it's very experimental. Like, I don't know if that's a genre, but it's experimental. I have a country record in there called Drunk. I have a rap record in there that's called Picking Fights. And I have one R&B record called Pretty Girl Flow. It's still kind of on the pop side, but everything else is pop. I think it's 14 tracks. Great listen.
So, through the names, are these personal stories?
Yeah. All of them. See, like, the thing is, like, I be writing. Like, I'm a writer, so I really don't have to have an experience that I've had.
Okay.
But at some point I've had. Like, How Would I Know is basically saying, like, look, do you want to be with me or not? I don't know, because you don't speak up. You don't open your mouth. So how would I know? That's happened to me. A lot of, like, Picking Fights is it's my dad's favorite. And it's like I'm arguing. It's like a conversational thing, like going back and forth. And I'm like, look, I'm picking a fight with you, but I actually really don't want you to be. I don't want to be. You know how women. You know, like how women will like. It's true. We be picking fights. I don't know.
Yes. I'm glad you
It's
said
something
that.
psychotic going on with that, but it's
Yes.
true. Like we be picking
Why do
fights.
y'all be picking fights?
Yeah. You said why?
Yeah.
For me, I'll be honest. We want to know. We want to see you care a little. Like sometimes men are so nonchalant.
Yeah.
So we want to see a little passion out of you, like a little like,
We do
oh
care.
no, hold on, wait, no, I don't want to lose you. We want to know that.
We care like this. All right.
Yeah, see, and that's why women be picking fights because they like, hold on, I gotta know that because I don't know if you know this saying. I don't know if I know women know this saying, but a man is supposed to like you more than you like him.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Supposed to. Supposed to.
For me, it's a requirement.
Really?
But like, yes.
Really? But all right, so
Let's get into it.
it's because, all right, so now that's important. I think it goes both ways, right?
Mhm. Absolutely.
I think whoever you with, that person's supposed to like you more than them because they're gonna require less. The person that likes you the most, they're gonna do more, but the person that doesn't, they're gonna do less. If that makes sense.
Makes sense.
For instance, say we're together, and I like you more than you like me. I'm gonna do more because I like you. You're gonna do less.
See, okay, but that's also everything's isolated situations. Like for me, I am a person who believes that men should get nice things. They should get kind of spoiled. Like I believe in like men getting king treatment if they're a king.
Okay.
And there's certain
All right.
things I will not do if I'm not a wife and I'm not married yet. But I don't think it should be one-sided with giving spiritually, physically, mentally, financially. I don't think that should be one-sided. But for women, we've seen, like I have seen things. The man just walk in, like I saw this thing of Roddy Ricch. I like me some Roddy Ricch. But he walked in somewhere and the door just closed on his woman, and it's just like it's little things that it's like if the man doesn't really see you as someone he would marry, and that like you're gonna get messed over.
Well,
The door might close on you. He might forget you, or he might not. I don't know.
Well, it's two things. I think the generation now is different. A lot of young men, they don't know chivalry. I think that's just something like, for instance, in my age group.
But why is that?
Because it's a generation where it's like I don't have to do that in order for her to like it. It's like we vibing. That's a term that you guys use.
Okay.
We vibing. Whatever that means, right? We was taught, because my generation is a little different. We was taught that this is what you do
Yeah.
for a woman. You walk on this side of the street. You open the door.
Yes.
You make sure that she's safe. You make sure you call it, whatever. We make sure that our protection is welcome and is there. This generation, we just vibing.
And I think it has a lot to do with like how easily us women give it up.
Absolutely.
Nowadays.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
if you're gonna be a good person, a stand-up guy, a good woman's gonna do a certain thing, and a good man is gonna do a certain
That's
thing.
true.
So if a man is not up to my standard with what I require, all good. But I'm not gonna waste my time. But there are people that exist that still like chivalry is not dead.
Oh no, it's not.
There are good women out here that aren't just like, what you gonna buy me? You gonna pay my rent? Like, I'm not like that. There are women like that. No shade to them. Shout out to them. But it's like, there are other people that aren't like that.
Well, men like to pay rent.
You said, some men,
Yeah, men like doing that.
I think a man should pay somebody's rent. But I think it's a ladylike way to go about it.
I got you. Yeah,
To be
handle,
like,
yeah.
you handle it. You just not like, gimme, or you're not exchanging that for sex. Now, that's something I'm not about to prostitute myself,
Right.
but I do agree. Yeah, especially if he lived there or if y'all live together.
So
absolutely.
Frankie Beverly and Maze had a song, and in that song, a man needs to be needed. So, to what you're saying, we need to be needed.
Yes.
If we're in situations where we love that person, or if we love multiple situations, we need to be needed. Like, we need you to call us to fix that light or fix that tire. We need that versus you're like, why did you go do it? I was going to do it myself. Or I was going to go take the car.
I agree with that. Men do need to feel like men. They need to know they're the head of the household. They need to know they're needed.
Absolutely.
They have to. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Something simple as we appreciate you.
Yes.
it could be something that simple. He'll run through the wall
Yeah.
just by saying.
But it's like some women, I think, as a culture, like the woman culture and femininity, a lot of us are so scarred, cold and scorned, and it's sad. Like I saw this tweet and it was like, I need a man to help me unleash my femininity, and the guy quoted, it was like, why you gotta unleash, you should already be feminine.
Absolutely.
And I feel like with all of this that we're saying, if it's in you, it's in you. If you are loyal, you're loyal. If you're feminine, you are feminine. You don't need nobody to bring it out of you. Some women are feminine, you know? But yeah, I don't believe that all men cheat. I think that there are good, you can't live your life like that. There are good people in the world.
You're mature for your age.
I get that all the time.
You're very mature for your age. You was born, like you was here before or something.
But I made a lot. It's because like I made a lot of mistakes in college. See, when I went to college, my parents weren't there. Like I was very sheltered. They took good care of me. So when I went to college, I wasn't wild out, but I learned a lot of lessons where I was like, I ain't gonna do that again. And so I try not to learn the same lesson twice. I really try to grow because
that's good.
It's painful.
That's good. So you have friends, female friends. So are the friends all similar in terms of mindset?
Oh yeah, you gotta have equally yoked friends.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that because when people that's gonna be viewing this, they're gonna be like, okay, well, do she rock alone? Do she hang by herself? Like how
I'm a girl's
friends?
Girl, and I got a lot of girlfriends. Me and my friends have been friends since we was babies.
Okay.
And then I have friends from college.
Got you.
So now I got a lot of friends, and I've met a lot of women that are cool, beautiful, but we just don't align. I'm not about to sit here and talk to you about sleeping with married men, or I'm not about to sit here and talk to you about all this drama or fighting somebody. I don't want to hang out with somebody that's willing to fight in the club. Right. Like, so when it comes to those friendships, no, I still love them. It's no shade to them. I love them. They're awesome, but it's like I can't associate because the spirit is like a sponge. Like you could just start loving somebody for their heart, and then all of a sudden you start taking on their ways. Right. And that I'm not willing to do.
So while you performing, you have a boyfriend, right? I mentioned you have a boyfriend. So while you performing, do you have any fans that's love interests?
Do I have fans that have a love interest?
For you?
Oh, yeah.
Really? So how do you manage that as a woman? Yeah. A young woman that's serious about her art and love to have fans and people that enjoy her art and manage that with this?
He trusts me, one, and then two, like they're fans,
Okay.
or they're not like even like music videos I've had where I've had to be, I'm doing a scene with a guy or whatever. He good. You gotta understand who you with. Like, don't give me a hard time when you know my heart and you know this is what I've been doing my whole life. That's how I feel.
You know why I asked that question, right?
Why?
You saw what happened with Usher, right? And that older lady, her husband filed for divorce.
He filed for divorce after that?
Yeah.
Okay, now my boyfriend don't play that either, because when Usher told was going on, I brought that up. He was like, nah, don't do that. And I feel like I'm not married, but I love him. I respect him. I would love to be married to him, so I'm not going to cross that boundary. But he filed for divorce. Yes. I don't think that's divorce worthy.
Well, you got 20,000 people that's at this concert. 20,000. Well, not that many. It's probably about 8,000 people at the concert. And Usher is, he's breathing in your face. And he's smelling good. He's sweaty, and he has his bowl of cherries. And this woman looked like she was like,
that's crazy.
Like
she was foaming at the mouth.
Yes, she was like, she was doing those things. She was having a couple of them back to back. And when he got the cherries, it's like that's her dream came true, and her husband seen this. Yeah. Right. So that's why I asked that question.
So my perspective as a young person who's not married yet, I say, are you mad because of the embarrassment, or are you deeply hurt by what she did? Because I feel like that's something that can be worked through. I feel like that's something that can be fixed.
Really?
The internet will tell you what to do with your relationship. But now I'm thinking in my head, like, what if that was my man and he got a lap dance from whoever on
A
stage.
sexy artist. Real like say for instance, like I don't know if you remember this, but Beyonce, Destiny's Child did a Cater to You deal,
Yes.
and they were sitting in that labs. Like Janet Jackson, she had a show
Yeah.
when she was like,
She did. She would put them up on the board,
yes,
like the little thing.
and she was grabbing their crouches.
Yeah,
and yeah.
Okay, now Janet might have had to catch some hands with that one. I love you, Janet, but no, I don't know, because I'm an entertainer and I know it's not real. Like that's
I get
the
it.
child. Beyonce's with Jay-Z. She
Yes.
went with none of them men.
Yeah.
You know that she pulled on stage. So it's like I know that it's not real. So me personally, I probably would be okay.
Okay.
I would probably be okay, but I feel like when you're a regular person, you're not you're not into that. Yeah, it could look like you cheating on me.
Yes.
And it's like it's just an experience. She had it. I don't think it's divorce worthy. Now, as a man, what do you think? Would you have? Is that divorce worthy for you?
Well, it depends how. Well, no, it's not, because I was married for a long time, so
Okay.
it's not for me being married. That because I was the person on the other side. I'm the person that was the,
Yeah.
people know who I am. I have nothing but women friends. My
Yeah.
women are like super beautiful,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah.
I'm not a jealous person
Me neither.
at all. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, if you want her,
But if she's your wife, you feel like that, or
yeah,
if she,
because think at the end of the day, you can't. Now I'm talking from experience. Now,
Okay.
At the end of the day, this is adults. When you're an adult, only person you can control is your kids
oh,
to a certain degree,
okay,
right? Until they get grown.
yeah, absolutely.
You can't control the grown person. You gotta hope that that person that you're with do the right thing according to what's right for you guys.
Absolutely.
See what I'm saying? You gotta let a person be who they are.
And that's why I don't go through phones.
There you go.
That's a major violation for me if you go through my phone. I don't care if you find something. I'm done. Because I grew up, shout out to my mom, hey mom, but she used to go through my phone all the time.
Okay.
All the time. So that's like but yeah, I don't go through, I feel like what's done in the dark will come to the light. I trust God enough to know if there is something I need to know, I'm going to find out. I don't have to dig and sneak and lie and do all this stuff to find it. I don't agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah. But relationships are beautiful. I love it.
They are.
I love it.
I love black love too.
Yeah.
I love to see a black couple. I love to see a black man thriving. I love to see a black woman thriving.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I want to do a segment where I play a word game.
Okay.
So I throw two words out there. You make a choice,
Okay.
and if you want to elaborate on it, you can.
Okay.
All right.
There's no context behind it.
No.
You're just throwing out
First
two
thing
words.
thing that pops in your mind.
Okay.
All right. So we're doing comparisons.
Okay.
All right. Houston or DC?
Houston, all the way.
H-Town.
Ain't nothing like Houston. I promise you, it's not. H-Town, all the way.
Okay. Michael Jackson, Prince.
Michael Jackson. I grew up on
Really?
Michael Jackson. And I love Prince's music too, but
Okay.
Michael Jackson, I just have I listened to a lot of him growing up. Yeah. So.
Okay. Lady Gaga, Mariah Carey.
Lady Gaga.
Okay.
I'm like, dang. I love Mariah too, but Lady Gaga, she was like so iconic. Showing up to the MTV Music Awards with a meat dress on, like she's iconic.
Pop music or pop rock? Pop alternative.
Yeah, pop alternative for sure. I like rock. Like to mix them together.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if you know who Amy Winehouse is? Okay. Willow Smith or Amy Winehouse?
Willow Smith. Sorry, Amy. She's a legend. I think she's also one of the blueprints. But you gotta listen. She just dropped a jazz album.
Really?
I don't know how it didn't win a Grammy. I don't know if it has to be nominated for next year. I don't know if she missed the cutoff, but she's good. She's talented.
I'm gonna tell you, and this is being honest. The last song I heard from Willow Smith was
With My Hair?
yes.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
this young woman has grown.
Okay.
I'm talking about like music that I know you like because jazz is in our roots and it's good jazz music. It's really good. She has a rock album. She was doing rock for a while, and then now she's into like jazz. She's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Lil Wayne or Nicki Minaj?
Because when you said Lil Wayne, I was going to say Lil Wayne because I grew up, like, that was my celebrity crush. I thought I was going to marry Lil Wayne. I know almost all his music, but I love, ooh, that's hard. I'm going to have to,
Because, you know, they both venture off in pop.
yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Nicki, girl power.
Okay.
Girl power.
All right. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Last one. Heels or tennis shoes?
Tennis shoes. I hate that I'm in these heels right now. If I didn't have somewhere to be after this, I would have been in jeans and a t-shirt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm very chill. Like, this is a rare form of mine. So yeah, sneakers for sure. I love a good heel, but yeah, I like to be comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as we ending the show, I wanna display the people to see a little of your talent, and I want you to freestyle whatever. How do you say it in church? Whatever God puts on your heart.
Okay, whatever God puts on my heart.
I want a little freestyle. See what you got.
Okay, so I'm gonna sing.
Do you need a beat?
No, I don't need
Oh,
a beat.
okay.
I don't
I
need
got
no
you.
time. Yeah, I'm good.
I got you.
So I'm gonna sing "How Would I Know," my first track on my album. How would I know? How would I know? How would I know? Do you wanna be on your own or go sleep around with them hoes? Just tell me now. I'm not gonna cry. I'll just move on. I'll tell you now, 'cause you won't open your mouth. How would I know?
Hey, that's it right there.
Yes.
How would I know? How would you know, guys?
How
would
would
you
I
know?
know? You
I
gotta
like
open
that.
your mouth. Speak up.
That was dope.
So yeah, that's the first track. It starts off with a rap, and then boom, it's way more dramatic than what I just sang. But
How you learn how to sing?
I
Is it hereditary?
no, from God maybe, but neither one of my parents. Now my dad can kind of hold a tune, but my mom is like tone deaf.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like the only one in my. I have one uncle that can sing, but that's it. Both bloodlines.
You never sung in church, like gospel, nothing?
I grew up in a white church, and they didn't do that. It was a great church, but they didn't have like a choir.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a talent.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Sound good. So, Zandy, before we get out of here, I need you to give your social media. How can anybody reach out to you? Oh, yeah, before we even end, shout out to Latoria,
Yes.
Limelight Media, for making this thing
16
happen.
years
Yes.
in the game.
And we're
Shout out
going
to
to a
Latoria.
party tonight. When this airs, we done had drinks at that point, but you know what I'm saying? But shout out to Latoria. But
Yes.
how can people get in contact with you for management, for videos, for
Yeah.
features, just to hear your single?
Yeah, for sure. So you can find all my music from when I was 15 and up on all streaming platforms. Just type in Xandi, Xandi, and then all of my music will pop up. I also have a website. It's called zandyofficial.com. Again, Xandi, and then you can also follow me on all platforms. Well, on Instagram, it's Zandy Official. On X, it's Official Zandy. Just type in Zandy or whatever you're on, YouTube, Twitter, or X, Instagram, whatever, TikTok, and then you'll find me.
How did you get the name?
So my real name is Alexandria, so just Zandy.
Oh, okay.
It's like a little nickname.
Zandy. Zandy.
Yes, it's very pop-like.
Yeah, Zandy.
Because I used to go by my stage name, or by my real name, which is Alex. And
That was like bland.
yeah, it was like,
Having chicken without salt.
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It didn't match
It
what
didn't
I was
pop.
giving.
It
Yeah,
didn't pop.
it didn't pop.
No pun intended.
Yeah, it didn't pop. I was like, and then I was in Dallas for a month doing a musical for the Dallas Theater Center, Hairspray. I was in Hairspray. And one of the guys, he was just playing with my name. He was like, Zandy. And I was like, so I still give him credit to this day. I'm like, yeah. And then from that night, I got home from rehearsal.
Zandy.
I changed all my everything to
Wow,
Zandy.
that's dope.
Yeah.
That's like me. I'm Black Adam everywhere I go.
Black Adam. What were you before that?
Adam.
Just Adam.
Yeah.
What's the black?
Because I'm the only Black Adam everybody know.
That's true.
Right.
I don't know. Not hold on.
Think about it. Yeah, don't get me wrong. They have some Black Adams, but it's
They're
not.
there.
It's just
But
rare.
we don't know where they are.
Yeah, and I don't look like Adam.
you gotta like congregate with him now. I don't know. I feel
All
like
right.
that's like a whole thing that's untapped.
If you're a Black Adam, come holler at me. So that's
DM him right now if you're black and your name is Adam.
Black Adam.
Yeah, that's
And this is before the movie Black Adam.
I like that.
Yeah, Black Adam. Yeah.
That's dope.
Guys, look, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We got to get up out of here. We got to go pay some bills, and we got to be somewhere at a certain time.
Yes.
So, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Zandy, one more time, give your information. How can the people find you?
Yes, Zandy on all streaming platforms, Xandi, and then you can follow me on Instagram at Zandy Official, and from there you'll find everything else.
There it is, guys. You already know where I am at Culturally Distinct everywhere. This is going to air live in a couple of weeks. So, look, make sure you see Zandy somewhere at the spot. You see her in the streets. You might see her at church. You might see her at a concert. Give her a hug. Give her a handshake.
Yes.
Give her a tip.
Yes.
Give her a tip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We need some
I
dollars.
agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yes. So, guys, look. Shout out to you guys. You already know what it is, man. Every week, how I say it, I love you guys, and you can't do nothing about it. Peace out.